Okay, I show you. Look at this.
That is.
That is because I'm still, as a man, strength is very important. If your body is developed, the mind will follow.
On the other side, you have people who are building their body. They're trying to build their strength from insecurity and from feeling of inadequacy.
It is nothing about ego or narcissistic. If you want to meet a beautiful person, you need to have also a beautiful body. You need to love yourself. I use the method where you have the softness and the hardness combined into one. The education, what you can see in social media, in the movies, shows the man that he is always become weaker and weaker. I will say that is a miseducation.
Marvel superhero people like Thor, you can't take them seriously. They are like caricatures for children who are almost a joke.
Especially for a lot of male or female, they do the suffering in silence because they don't know how to get out of it. And to get out of it is okay, I show you. Look at this.
Sure. That is.
See that? That is not because I'm skinny. Yeah, that is because I'm still I'm working. I'm a martial artist. I am uh, 50 plus years old. Yeah, but I can't let myself go down. It's not allowed. So I practice my skills, my movements, my standings, my squattings, my internal development to be soft, to be and strong at the same time. What I just said, like the snake, soft but still full of power when you need it.
I think this is a great point because if we look at the Western world and even what we are again emphasizing a lot is mostly the strong part and the hard part, and even how people understand training is that usually the only training that is very useful is the one where you're just building hardness, you're just building that muscle mass and this, let's say, structure, like more stiffening your body. Like this is considered, I think, the, let's say, mainstream training. But when it comes to this softness and this, then people try to find from yoga, maybe the most popular way to try to find softness from there. And but there are alternatives, like you said, tai chi, but also qigong, and even just other types of trainings as well. But it's a big difference, I think, here where you're emphasizing this balance between the structure but also maintaining, let's say, this elasticity
Yeah,
and the ability to really
I,
relax the
I
system.
use the method, yeah, which called the Trinity system, where you have the softness and the hardness combined into one. That is very important. And I also do my push-ups and and squats, and I still do some exercises because as a man, strength is very important. Physical strength is important. It gives you different mindset. The mindset is very important, that you don't let yourself down. What I just said, I'm over 50, or nearly 55, no? That I have, when I see my classmates from elementary school, I looks like a grandfather because I am already 2 times, okay? But here like an old man, and here like a young fellow, like this. Yeah? That is a totally different world. And when I see my classmates, they looks here old, and they looks here very old. They're chubby, everything falls down, the muscles are degenerating, and I can see that also from their behavior. And as a man, when you want to have success in life, you need to have the development of your body. And when the body is developed and strong, whatever you do exercises like in your way, you do exercises like in my way. You 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 can stimulate your not only your manpower, you can stimulate also your willpower. And that willpower will reflect outsidely, because if your body is developed, the mind will follow.
Hmm.
It's not only, when my mind is strong, my body will be strong too. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. Mostly of the time, you need to also do some physical exercises, or your internal organs will degenerate.
I mean,
First,
it is the process of strengthening your body that strengthens your mind, like along the way. So, I mean, the struggle that you face is something where, and by overcoming the physical struggle, is actually where you start to only develop it. So, if you just wait for something to happen, it will, well,
I, I tell you, as a man, yeah, as a man, as a business person or a business woman, if you have a weak body, you walk different. Your confidence is not there. If you have a certain kind of physical strength, your confidence level is in a totally different degree. You are much more, I will say, open to receive person when you have a communication in business or whatsoever. If your body is strong, your mindset will follow, and you have the confidence to face other people. And especially for a lot of male or female, they are not doing exercises, they are not developing themselves, they are suffering in silence at home. They don't go out. They don't. They're not social. They're afraid to be in public. When they face a business opportunity, they don't have the guts to do it, because you also need to have the guts to fail. And some people, what I just said, suffering in silence, they are not confident also to meet the love of their life, because they have no confidence in themselves, because the body is degenerated. If you want to meet a beautiful person, you need to have also a beautiful body. You need to love yourself first.
yeah.
Only when you love yourself first, you develop yourself. It is nothing about ego or narcissistic. It's a totally different thing. You love yourself, you maintain a healthy body, you maintain your strength, your mind is totally confident, you can face obstacles, you can also face failures. And that, as a man, you need to know that we also need to have the ability to accept failures and understand what is losing, understand what is, for example, divorce, understand is getting ignored by most of the people who you are appreciating.
Mm.
You need to understand that some people are not value your presence because you don't reflect that of your inner self. So most of the people who wants to have the life partner, for example,
Mhm.
they do the suffering in silence because they don't know how to get out of it. And to get out of it is physical strength and mental exercises. You need to have mind exercising skills and also the power development.
Mm.
That's why I say qigong is good, lohan gong is better, uh, meditation is good, standing meditation like the grand circle
Mm.
is even better. I can say that because it is the content, it is the best.
Yeah.
It is the
And
best what we have done. It is out there, and people then need to understand that is a way how to have that complete package, the complete package to solve all your problems. You want to have a good business. You need a strong mind, and you need to have the physical ability to lose also something. It's not always winning. It's not
yeah, yeah.
always earning good. Sometimes it's a failure, but you need to have the possibility and the ability to know when to do it and when not. And if you are waiting too long, good opportunities will fly away.
Yeah.
They will vanish. And
Absolutely.
afterwards you start to regret. And when you start to regret, you start to suffer in silence.
And when you mentioned this, that physical strength and the mental strength, that is something that affects everything in our life. And there's also on the other side, you have people who are then building their body. They're trying to build their strength from insecurity and from feeling of this inadequacy. And I like that you said that first you love yourself. You have to love your or have self-love, because if you don't have that, then even when you're training your body, it can result into something where you're simply, let's say, like you're bringing out your insecurity actually into your body. So we can see people who are loaded with steroids and hormones, and they will appear like, now I'm the strong person, but they are still insecure deep down inside. So even though they're developing their physical body, it doesn't reflect what we talk about here. Okay, then you will have the confidence, because this was just something where you're masking the lack of maybe self-love in the end. So I think it's a very good separation when you really look at yourself, or the self-appreciation, and start to build your body from there, because it doesn't really matter in the end like how much you're trying to build your strength and your body through your ego. You will always still, it does. You can go and approach a woman and you're still insecure, or you can go to a business meeting and you're still insecure. You just have this superficial confidence build. Whereas if it started from the, like you mentioned, self love or something like this way, your body will be developed quite differently.
The thing is also what in today's society is taught. The education what is in today's society is a totally different kind than I would say 50 years ago.
Hmm.
The education what you can see in social media, in the movies, and so on, shows the man that he is always become weaker and weaker. So people they will accept a weak man. The people they will accept that you are no good.
It's a role
Okay.
model.
Yeah, and that is also, I would say, that is a miseducation because men have different kind of, I will say, responsibilities. He needs to be the provider for his family, and he also needs to be the protector of his family. And that is one or two very important points. Yeah, uh, a man needs to be the leader in the family. How you can be a leader if you're weak? Yeah. always listen to your partner, which emasculate you, make you much more weaker, doesn't take you, I will say, for real, disrespect you. That is not the situation. The female have also the responsibility. Yeah? The female part in the family have the responsibility to give education to the children,
Hmm.
because they're mostly with the children together. Okay. And also needs to follow the men. That sounds for other people, oh, you're misogynist. And no, it's not like this. It works for thousands of millennials. Why it shouldn't work in that kind of last 50 years? Why shouldn't do that on for the next 50 years?
Yeah, but the good point is, like you said, this what we get, like what we see from movies or what we see from media in general. I think it has a much stronger impact than we can even imagine. Like it, I mean, think about Western worlds. Like every movie is the biggest movies are from Hollywood, and so whatever is portrayed in these movies, in whichever way, you will take it. It's not even like you can't even control it. If you're getting bombarded with these movies and the media and the TV series since you were a kid, you will start to like somewhere ingest this worldview that you're getting or that is being portrayed there. And like I think I agree. Like we have traditional heroes still in movies, but to a large extent we also I think are being brought with men who are not, like maybe used to be. We don't have these strong silence type people anymore in the movies from the old times who maybe represent that type of masculinity that is starting to be gone now. Like these Marvel superhero people like Thor, they you just you can't take them seriously. They are like caricatures for children who
Yeah,
are
cartoon,
almost a
cartoon.
joke. They're kind of a joke. So something is definitely lacking. I agree with you there.
Now
Or
look,
from the
the important thing is, yeah, uh, bring back bring back the man's mindset, the warrior's mindset, where these kind of aspects gives the man the real, I would say, position where people value a man. It doesn't matter you have six packs. You need to be, I don't know how tall. You need to have a big bank account and so on. That doesn't makes you a high status person. That only shows, okay, you're rich, or maybe you're a basketball player. Okay, good, you have it. That doesn't makes a high status man. High status men are the qualities what you have as a man, and the qualities I just said. Yeah, you can be the construction workers. Bring every day food at home, food on the plate at home. Every month you go, every day you're going out, you work because you're the provider for the family,
Mhm.
and you're strong. You are the protector of the family. That is already precious, and that we need to appreciate. And people in today's society, especially the ladies, they need to value this kind of man, not this kind of, I will say, celebrity, yeah, who is rich, who's tall, who can have every girl, whatever. It doesn't make a man of status. Look at this, for example, this the founder of Amazon, yeah, the big Amazon man. He is rich, he got everything, and his wife also lost. Get rid of him, even when she was young. It's also okay. They will also suffer, yeah,
Mhm.
because status is a different thing. It's not about how much money you have in your bank account. It is good to have some, I will say, savings. That is good. That is also
Mhm.
necessary in a in
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
in
like you need to have a standard, like level of living. But for sure, it will never usually. I mean, I'm not going to say never, but if you have a stable income and so on, it's the most thing that matters is how you treat the other person. How are you taking care of the other person? Like this is what actually brings the intimacy and the, let's say, feelings of closeness and love in the relationship. It it cannot be like bypassed.
okay.
And if you're just staying because of the money, then You can do that, maybe some women do, but again, the relationship will be like a, what is it called, like a coulis, like, it's like, it's just a superficial, like a facade of a building, and but the internally something is lacking, and
Mhm.
this can be the case.
So that's why we need to build more our internal qualities. Yeah?
Hmm.
And the internal qualities, you need to see yourself first. You need to develop your internal qualities where you need to work on yourself first. Make yourself stable. I get calls all the time. I'm
Popular.
sorry for that. Yeah. People are calling me because they have my Facebook address and I receive, you don't understand what I receive. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the thing is, by the way, you need to develop your internal qualities to a point where can you also help the people come on that train.
Hmm.
They will see you. You will function as a role model. They see, look, he's doing this. I also want to have that. Even for myself, I'm not growing up with a very stable childhood because my father passed away when I was young, when I was little. There
Hmm.
was no leader in the family anymore. Okay, I got my keys here on the chain, and then I go have my own noontime meal because my mother was working as a police, three shifts, and she is not at home. So I have a little bit money, what I can have my meals for, and then I'm by myself. And
Hmm.
because of that, from one day to another, I need to be more independent. And if I didn't practice some martial art, I couldn't do that. It is a big helper. It is a confidence maker
Hmm.
where it developed stronger and stronger by age. So then I went to the special forces, and also because of my experience and also my practice, I was going through. Even I'm the short guy. Okay, I'm not very tall, yeah, but I can go through where the other guys say, "What is this? Why he is not giving up?" So
Hmm.
that not giving up in life is also important. Even you fail, you need to stand up and continue as a man.
Yeah, it builds up
And then
character.
and all these kind of procedures and I will say experience what I go through, yeah, winning and losing is a part of the game. You need to handle it. And if you are very weak mentally, you need to make you strong externally, physically, and mentally at the same time. And I said already, what we have done outside with this kind of programs, and the programs are still continuing, yeah, you will understand what are the pillars of qigong. You will understand how to build the lohan gong, the warrior qigong. You will understand what is the standing development to build your strong foundation. You will understand how to nourish the qi in different ways, and so on and so on and so on. Fighting is easy. To be a fighter, you need 3 years. You train fighting, you train kickboxing, wrestling, MMA, whatsoever, karate, yeah, and you're strong. But to develop, to train for your whole life, that is a totally different thing, and that needs to have the fighting ability to not to be conquered by somebody else. And you need to have also the mental aspect to preserve and accumulate energy because that is the life source, what you need for being alive, being creative, being a part of our, I would say, environment.
Yeah, this is the thing, when you talk about this, okay, you need to have the fighter side, this physical side, but then the longevity of the things is something that, like I mentioned earlier, is I think younger people, especially, younger fighters, you don't think about the longevity very much. And I think, this is why, when we get to like people who are maybe traditionally even practicing qigong, I think maybe the age is a bit older than, let's say, people who are starting to fight at a younger age, because you just don't have the perspective on life, and you feel like you're invincible maybe at a certain point in your youth. And I think, like, even though I'm still under 40, I'm just a little bit over, I mean, I'm 33 years old. So even at this point in my life, I think that, and even earlier, I mean, I was in my 20s when I started to realize really the importance of longevity and more sensitive style of soft style of training. And this was just by the fact that, because I started to face a lot of injuries with my own body, or not specific injuries, but I had aches, pains, tightnesses, waking up and never feeling really good in my body. And this was a wake up call for me. And not sure why I did it, but I reacted almost immediately. So I think many people, when they face these issues, it takes years and years and years to really, for you to realize that maybe you need to change your approach. So I started to tackle these issues immediately to be able to fix them and get rid of them. And I think it's partially because I just had this idea that these do not belong to the body. And especially at that young age, what is my body going to look 10 years forward? Like, I started to train over 10 years ago. So right now I'm at a point, I'm now in the future myself, and I've gone only to a better direction. But if I would have continued with the methods that I was utilizing then and with my careless training, who knows, I might have had to gone through surgeries. I might be all the time in pain, or I wouldn't have, even like a fraction of the functionality that I now have in my body. So I think this past history also is what brought a lot of appreciation for me towards, and interest towards the Eastern methods and the qigong and such. And then there was also, there were some other people as well from whom I learned, like Steve Maxwell, who essentially, emphasized, who is like now something like 70 years old, and he had also the perspective of how to train when you're an older person. Not to emphasize the weight, not to do these crazy movements, trying like ego lifting and all this, but use control and so on. Learning through this, and then once we met you, like, this was really an eye-opening moment again, like, because I had the interest towards the softer styles and the deeper internal styles, but I didn't have the person. I didn't have the key person to really convey and teach those methods. Like, I was searching for something, but I didn't even know what I was missing. So when we start to learn with you about the qigong, and the Grand Circle was one of the first things that you started to actually to show us, but then there was Buddhist qigong and all these breathing methods. I mean, it was just opened up this realm of training that I had no idea existed, but it was the exact thing that I needed to get kind of further in my training studies at that point.
You can
So
see
yeah.
there are a lot of people, I said already, our content will help them for that. How to develop a mindset, how to learn the breathing, how to move your body. If you don't want to go to the gym, which is actually, when you go to gym, so boring. Yeah. Is for me doing this. Uh, I have respect for all bodybuilders and people
Same.
who are lifting and so, but actually all the bodybuilders who developing a lot of muscles and so, they actually they don't they want to be fighters.
They want to have the same type of
They
confidence,
want to be
maybe.
fighters. They want to be, oh, Mr. Zhang, I actually want to be a fighter. I meet them so many times. And that's why they build themselves up like this, because they think that gives them the confidence, because then they will face no fight.